There are many who think themselves entitled to our lands. Assyrians, Persians, and Macedonians have all coveted this mountain paradise between two seas, Black and Caspian, and have past times taken it by force. No doubt the Romans will try to do likewise. Often have we tasted the bitter fruit of defeat and occupation, only to rise up and reclaim our independence when the power of our oppressors waned. Is this the cycle of subjugation and liberty the only destiny of the Armenian people? Or can we challenge fate and conquer those who seek to conquer us? A new wind is blowing through the Armenian Highlands. It carries seeds of hope.
Have no idea how this Armenia series is, well, quite frankly. Right. Let's attack this army on the outskirts here. Oh. Alright, we're not the most favoured to win this one. It's because they got some mercenary and other hoplites in as well. We do have a bunch of skirmishers. We do outnumber them, but it's going to be slightly tough. Anyway, let's fight this one on the battlefield and hopefully try and get the W. So let's make our way down here. Hopefully we can get some line of sight of them. Alright, Armenia. Let's move on out. Alright, now we're on the battlefield. It's a bit more on our favour. Alright, what's coming out over here? Some mob. We could actually divert some... We could just divert the general unit over here, potentially. And all the cavalry. Because we might be able to intercept some slingers here. Yeah, just go with a standard shot then. Because a couple volleys, we might be able to make quick work of these units. But the only problem is... Are we wasting skirmisher? Ammunition, potentially. Alright, looks like they're moving around a bit. Our general's under attack, that's fine. Alright, skirmish this. Try and swing you guys around. If I can get the general unit to engage them, that would be brilliant. Hit them from the sides. Alright. That looks okay. For now. Oh, you need to be on skirmish mode, ideally. Alright, you need to be around here because we need to be focusing on hoplites that are probably going to be flanking. So hit them from multiple sides. The general's going to be fine to carve up these guys. We could even go with trample. Charge bonus, fatigue. No, we don't want that. Alright, they're currently just skirmishing me out here. Let's just try and focus on them. But once again, they should be on a guard mode. I'm quite surprised how quick... Oh, what the fuck? Why the fuck would they charge in? That's so stupid. And you're literally charging into pikes. Absurd. Alright. Let's try and lock these guys in place so then we can flank. Alright, continue to skirmish out there. And we could even go with a flaming shot if we want. Alright, we're going to get sandwiched here if we're not careful. Do continue to skirmish them out. Alright, now they're fighting. Maybe send some units after them after all. Alright, let's just try and rotate around and hit these mob from behind. These are pikemen, so we're just going to be able to skirmish them fine. Alright, that needs to be swinging. Alright, you can properly charge this from behind. You can go here. We could even make a play for that unit, to be fair. What's this? The mob unit that's just hitting us. That's nothing to be concerned overly about. Alright. They are intertwining their skirmishes there slightly. You're out of ammunition, so you should probably head down here. Alright, we got these guys. Cavalry, you go for something like this. Hit their slingers if you can. The general unit seems to be capitulating there. Nice. Oh. You just need to be getting your attack orders in. Alright, let's get the general out of here. Alright, this is where the real fight is happening. Unfortunately, we've got sort of the same colour scheme going on. We've got the same hot artists out of the east, I guess. Alright, shit. Just need to watch out for the general unit here. Get him back towards some infantry, that'll be fine. That spear unit got kited by those skirmishes, unfortunately. Let's drop it in spire here. Oh, they're swinging around. I know you're exhausted, but come on, just a little bit longer. Let's give out these attack orders. Completely capitulate them if we can. Let's get these guys to get out of guard mode. They're causing some strife here with my skirmishers, unfortunately. They're doing fine. What's capitulating there? Nothing. We've got them completely surrounded, which is perfect. Although they're hoplites, they're not going to be able to do too much when they're fully surrounded like this. Alright. These skirmishers are doing quite well. Maybe even cycle charge, potentially. Unfortunately, those skirmishers got caught. Alright. Let's fully surround them. How many are even in here? 38. Nothing too crazy. Alright, like I said, I do want to try and cycle charge with you again if we can. Draw your short swords. Nice. God, they're still holding there, unfortunately. Which is going to be concerning because they're just tying down so many units now. So it's nearly not in our interest to keep going for it that much. So try and move some out. Alright, let's get these skirmishers back in. We won there. Swing down here. Get over here. Alright. You swing this way. General unit needs to be going after this. My skirmishers should be targeting whatever the fuck's over here. Dude, there's still so much left in there. Alright, come up here when you can. Try and capitulate these slingers with the cataphracts. Alright, unfortunately they're capitulating. Fire into this. Nearly got rid of those guys though. Alright, swing up this way, nice. You swing around this then. Dude, the cataphracts have taken like no damages whatsoever. Alright. Continue to fire into this. They're now running. Brilliant. Alright, come on. 51. Once they're broken, let's form a front line real quick. Try and go for their general unit. Oh, they're actually struggling against those slingers, which is interesting. Alright, are we okay here? I think so. We are skirmishing into them. Alright. Now that we've formed up, we can flank around slightly. I know you're exhausted, but come on, just that little bit longer. Alright, now charge in and around. Our units are fatigued. Our units are so exhausted. But they just need to go on just that little bit longer. Oh my god. Alright, we're gonna eventually catch those fucking slingers. Alright, that unit that was causing me some problems is now moved out. I think we sniped the general unit or whatever the cavalry unit was there. Bro. These hoplites are so fucking good when they sit in defensive formation. What is this color? It's like a greeny teal type of color. I kind of like it. Oh, nice, we won there though. Alright, we're probably about to capitulate them now. Things are looking really fucking good. Nice. We might quickly have to deal with the rebellion and then... Oh no, I was gonna say maybe deal with the rebellion and then send them up, but no, they're just gonna straight up attack me. Alright, let's fucking do it. Let's fight this one on the battlefield. Oh, dude, that sucks that they're deploying from behind. Like, massively. Alright, let's just try and soften these guys up then. As quick as we can. Try and flank you around. Alright, try and flank with you. Alright, get these skirmishers here. You're going straight into a fucking Colt Kiss unit here. What the hell's going on? I know you got the target. I told you to target the skirmishers, but they planted themselves right fucking behind them. Right, here comes some of their citizen cavalry. Alright, they're done and dusted. Nice. Their reinforcements are coming in. Right. Try and get our skirmishers to target theirs. I thought I had units trying to target their cavalry here. Move up then. Alright, we're not going to be able to chase after those skirmishers. Alright, now try and focus on their noble unit. Alright. Let's try and surround this unit by multiple angles. Come on, we just need to lock down this skirmish unit if we can. It's causing a lot of issues. Alright. We caught that unit somehow. Nice. Oh my god, this unit keeps on getting around. Alright, let's make a front line. Alright, we won there. Get the cavalry over here. Alright, now this is working. Now that we're actually hitting them from multiple sides, we're really reducing their general unit here. Alright, let's give out some attack orders. Unfortunately, one of our skirmish units did get caught. Alright, this noble unit is really nearly depleted. Keep peppering into it. Let's lock you down. Alright. Let's try and reform this. Nice. There's only 2 units in there, so don't even worry about it. Let's move up here. You've now 1. Swing this way. Alright, let's send these guys up here now. Alright, let's get the cavalry on the left-hand side to keep going against these reinforcements coming on in. Alright, they're starting to skirmish us now here. Let's advance, because we can't allow them to do that for too long. Especially if my cavalry is exhausted and they can't get there in time. Let's advance. Alright, these are the flanking units, and they eventually get there. Alright. A skirmish unit is disembarked, that's not going to be too much of an issue. Let's drop an Inspire here. Alright, let's get ready to flank with you eventually as well. Alright, charge in there. Stop letting them get hit with impunity. Alright, just continue to skirmish into these heavies. There's a unit here that's sitting idly by that shouldn't be. Alright, let's flank. Go after you. You're attacking. Flank with you guys now. Alright, that arch unit will cause some damage, but if we can get maybe the cavalry to go after it, we'll see how we go. Like these nobles, it might be worth. Alright, swing around here. Charge into that. You swing around this way. Let's give out some multiple attack orders. Center is buckling there, so move you up to try and claim it. Let's drop an Inspire here. Let's go for those slingers. Alright, let's swing this way. I'll actually try and hit that. Come on, we've nearly won here, which is pretty good. Fuck, I don't know if we're going to be able to win this one. We might have slightly bitten off more than what we can chew. Continue to fire into that. Right, we won there, so maybe charging down here might be the play. We do have trample. Charge bonus, fatigue though. Alright. What might carry us through is our skirmisher supremacy if we're lucky. Maybe. That's a big ask though. Oh, nice. That small little noble cavalry unit that was tasked to go after that huge skirmisher unit has actually done a bit better than what I thought. Alright, let's drop an Inspire here. Oh, nice. That cycle charge somehow worked. Alright, you're back here. Alright, let's move the general back, because we really can't afford to lose that. Let's skirmish this, you skirmish that. Oh, this is going to be so fucking close. It is actually going to go to the utmost bitter end. Fuck. What shocks me was the size of the garrison that came after us. Holy shit. Why was it so big? Alright, we might be able to inflict heavy casualties. But that's a fucking wrap, boys. Shit. Oh well. Add it to the list of faction leaders that have died. I wouldn't worry about this. We can come back from this though, easy. Alright. I might need a force march technically then, just to get... Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, I think there's a spy here somewhere, which is really delaying me. Yeah, we just can't see. That's alright. I think we're more than capable to win that militarily. Let's move this army here, just to potentially stop a rebellion. Alright, let's fight this one. Alright. Nice. Semis. 5-star commander. 4 units of Persian cavalry. Mostly bronze chevron. Couple silvers here and there as well. Bunch of archers as well. But thankfully, King of Armenia. Sammy's of age now. After having his uncles take the throne. Could have taken his birthright from him, but fucking didn't. Could have stolen his inheritance. Like some Greek tragedy. But yeah, thankfully the Pontus build, there ain't too much chariots to annoy us. There ain't really much of anything to annoy us, which is good. Alright. So, maybe go with something like this. That's what I'm thinking. Archers, go something like this. Cavalry, looking to flank. Don't need a sprint. We've got time on our side. Persian cavalry, looking to dominate the left and right flank. Right, let's speed things up slightly. Might need to halt my skirmishers, because they're just getting out of range of our heavy axemen. They're just taking a little bit of time to get up there. The last thing we want is a charge to come on in. Alright, let's move you here. Let's try and take that high ground. Alright, let's try this now. Alright, they're moving around slightly. Alright, let's speed things up. Further out we can get the better. Okay, we're nearly going to be in skirmisher range. So maybe go just that little bit further. Alright. Move the cavalry up. They're trying to flank. You go here. General, you move here. Alright, try and wrap around them. Alright, let's give out some attack orders. Because we have superior infantry to them. They've actually closed the distance on us. It doesn't seem like they're going to allow our skirmishers to hit them with impunity. But here we go. We've charged in a couple key areas. Oh, go for this pike unit. Try and hit that cluster. Alright, hit them from behind. I did give out some attack orders for cavalry to run down skirmish cav. We should try and reorientate that. Yeah, so they actually have Pontic cavalry. They look more like the Persian cavalry, to be fair. Dude, the beauty with Armenia and their general units, these super heavy shock cataphracts are fucking fantastic. You can really nearly carefree run your general units in if you want. They're just so invaluable. Oh, you go for them. Yeah, so I think skirmishers just like fire into that cluster. Alright. And then Pontus has fallen. Mostly because they've been weakened by Chimeria in the north. Oh dude, these guys are wavering big time. They actually crushed them. Maybe friendly fire in here. But our center is buckled there, unfortunately. Holy shit. We are going to win. We do have to be a little bit careful. Alright, maybe go with a flammable shot just to mix things up, potentially. Swing you around this way. Yeah, like point blank here. Against pikemen side on. We're just going to carve them up. Nice. Missile damage increased. We've also got the volume as well. With the additional ammunition, we are laughing. Alright. Now we've got a bunch of cavalry as well. We can try and run down as many of them as we can. Look, it's not going to matter because we've surrounded them in their settlement. They can't go anywhere. But we can increase those bronze chevrons. Yeah, the Arden probably gave us a better fight. Yeah, I think Pontus just were a little bit weakened. Definitely by Chimeria. Potentially by the Galatians. It seemed like they maybe had a peace with them. But I don't know. Cool. Let's end that battle there. Decisive one. Alright, let's end the turn and continue. I'll be curious to see if they attack us. And they have. Alright, I don't know why we're so outnumbered. Just the garrison that's adding that number up. Because we are actually outnumbered 2-1 here. It's mostly trash though. Slingers. They're just really good in auto resolve, I suppose. Alright. 2 of our Persian cavalry are slightly weakened, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful on that front. And one of our axemen is weak as well. But anyway, we'll fight this one on the battlefield. Yeah, looking sort of at the army roster for Armenia, I think fighting field battles, is definitely the play. I think that's where we... Let's flank. Alright, archers. I was just trying to see if there's a different shot. We could go with a flammable shot, potentially. No, let's just leave it at that. Alright, we'll try and see if we can get an opportunity to hit someone. But the thing is, they're going to have quite quick and nimble skirmishers to cover them. Like already, as you can see here. They're hang on, they might let me go then. Go. Alright, looks like they're going to let us do it then. No, not here though. They're protecting them well. Go for the queen then. Maybe bluff charge the slingers. Get those ones. You go for this. Just got to be careful from those reinforcements. You charge into that. Alright, let's drop an Inspire. I probably should chuck you guys on skirmish mode while I'm watching this cavalry engagement. Alright, so we're going for their general unit, focusing on the skirmishers, and the barbarian front line is clashing upon that of my own. Alright, pull further back. Okay, we're making a little bit of a dent here, but maybe we should be cycle charging potentially. Because at the end of the day, these guys are a heavy shock unit. Okay, now we're starting to hit some skirmisher fire. Let's cycle charge that. We're going to be able to get a little bit of momentum there. But those noble horse actually might get the better of us in a prolonged engagement there. Okay, I just want to make sure my skirmishers are properly hitting theirs, because that's what we should be targeting. We tried to go for the general, and those noble horse actually just really outdid us, to be fair. Alright, we're holding here well. Just need to get away from their skirmishers, ideally. Alright, look, you know what? If we can somehow drag their general unit to my skirmishers, we might be able to absolutely decimate her. Come on. Come on, give chase. Go on, do it. Fucking do it. Come on. Come on, keep going. Right, everyone, if you've got a peeler or a fucking bow or a sling, hit this general unit. Absolutely give her hell. Alright, come on. Because it will save our cavalry massively. There we go. Bring her down. Bring her down. Bring her fucking down. It's working as well. Alright, that cavalry's cooked. Come on, boys. Fuck her up. Some poor fucker here is like T-posing. Hello. I'm from Galatia. Alright, we got another Inspire here. Alright, cooked there. There, she's still fighting, because that's her there. We can actually see her model. I think we got her, because I can't see her anywhere. Yeah, they just got destroyed. Nice. Okay, we still seem to be holding for now. Let's redirect our skirmisher fire against theirs, because this is where things are going to cost us. Their skirmish is hitting me. Alright, Persian cavalry, I know you're exhausted. You've done so well, but you need to keep moving. Everyone seems to be holding here for now. So maybe we try and get this flank going. And we're going to have to send the general in to go and help. But to be fair, this is still going to be a quite close conflict in battle, to be honest. gonna have to be super duper careful. It's their skirmishers. So I was thinking in the balance of power when it was dished out, I thought, oh, maybe it's the spearmen giving them the high chance of victory. No. I actually think it's their skirmishers, perhaps. These Celtic slingers are doing phenomenally well. Alright, let's give out some attack orders here. That's perfect. Alright, let's give out some more attack orders here or something. There we go, fine. Cool, you're doing well here, there we go. You need to be making your way down the... If you win, continue to push and surround them. We seem to be quite a lot armoured. Like, significantly more armoured than them by the look of it. And my cavalry's doing well in this harassment campaign. There we go. And if we keep pushing down this, we might be able to get them in a retreat. Nice! Dude, a little bit risky there. Things didn't go exactly according to plan. But it looks like we got them in a full retreat here now. Okay. Yeah, luckily that plan worked. Baiting the barbarian queen over here. Alright, let's finish off Galatia once and for all. And let's fight this one on the battlefield. While Axeman can try and countercharge that if you can. You're going to get a little bit of peeler off. Well, not exactly peeler, but your skirmisher equivalent. Alright, let's give out some attack orders. We don't want to sit flat-footed or idly by. Alright, let's get the cavalry to hit them. Let's continue to swing around. Our axemen should be able to carve up these spearmen like carving a cake. They should be able to splinter their spears left, right, and center. Alrighty. Let's get a charge in here. Let's get a charge in there. Alright, let's swing you guys down this way, I suppose. Let's get a nice charge over here. Alright. We learned our mistake last time engaging those noble horse. I don't want to do it for a prolonged time again, ideally. So, let's get our skirmishers to attack them. Alright, our axemen are starting to surround those spearmen quite well. Maybe with the general we send everyone in. We might get lucky. Fuck it, you know what? Let's fucking do it. Get the skirmishers to halt. Right. Their spearmen are capitulating now. It's probably going to get to a point where it's only the general. Maybe move everyone out actually. Move them out. It'll be quicker to get the skirmishers to hit them. Yeah, there we go. Well, they ended up charging in anyway. It didn't overly do much. Alright, get the skirmishers to halt. Let's continue. Turn off skirmish mode. Alright, let's just try and run down as many of them as we can. They were in a raiding stance. So they are going to be able to retreat to some extent. They were in a forced march before. But a couple of them got caught in the encirclement trap here, which worked brilliantly. Alright. Some are still escaping slightly though. But we've probably inflicted enough damage on them to completely and utterly destroy the army, which will be the last of them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check my diplomatic standing with Pergamon and maybe the Seleucids as well. I don't reckon I have a non-aggression pact with Pergamon, but you never know, I could potentially. Which could complicate things. That was a decisive battle. Oh my god. Yeah, we drew them out. Alright, let's chuck a save. So what do they got? A lot of pikemen. Some hoplites. A lot of slingers. I would like more skirmishers if we could. If I was playing off camera by myself personally, wasn't recording this for YouTube, I probably would have auto-resolved that. And looking at that, I'd nearly recommend it to you guys, because this is going to be tough. It's nearly swung back to a 50-50 now. It's just the hoplites, they're just so good in this game. But hey, look, we're still going to be able to gobble up a lot of their territory, and this is only going to delay the Edessa push, potentially. Which isn't too overly significant. Once we've got their core territories under our control, we could even send reinforcements from Antioch quite quickly. Alright, here they come. Coming in with pace as well. Is that their pikemen? They're actually full fucking sending it. They've drawn their short swords. They haven't even got their pikes. They're just going to go for it. Interesting. We're nearly in range. We're going to start skirmishing them soon.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
Their light horse are looking to flank. Let's move you here then. Alright, now here come their pikes. Send you around here. You go up around here. Okay. Just need to watch out what this hoplite unit does. But attack that, and you attack that as well. My center isn't going to hold for too long. Alright, you swing here. You swing around like this. Continue to target them. Let's drop an Inspire on the center, because that's where things are going to be the weakest. Right, they've engaged. You wrap around this way. You continue this way. General unit, come over here. Skirmishers. Try and stop their skirmishers from really hitting us. Right, we won here. Swing around. Flanking is how we're going to potentially win this. Oh, fuck. Where did that come from? I didn't even see that. Alright. Try and hit them. We just need to get lucky on one of these points, but they... Yeah, we're just kind of fucked. Our center's collapsed. Turn off guard mode with you. How the fuck did they escape? Oh, I've got some units recovering. Get back in there as quick as you can. Alright, we somehow won in here. Actually, you know what? We just need to keep our general alive now. This is way too fucking close for my liking. Alright. Because some of our units are coming back. We just don't want to be caught in... Like, if you move here, you need to be flanking that. That's being moved around a bit. Okay, the front line has buckled, but we're winning in some weird areas. Hang on, charge into that. Although our front line is capitulated, it's turned into just every unit for themselves. We might be able to get some opportunities here. Hang on. Because we might be able to target and isolate. Units, hang on. There we go. Get the cavalry to stop these skirmishes from hitting us. Like, there's 3 units here. We can use that to our advantage. Yeah, it's like they gave chase and they've overextended. Fuck, this is going to be really, really close. Hang on. Nice. Yeah, and then we hit them from multiple sides. Yeah, you make sure you don't hit pikes like head on, but like, see this here? Like, if you can hit them from all sides, we're good. Oh my god, this has turned into a little bit of our own Battle of Hastings, to be honest. We've pulled them out of position. Look at this. Yeah, yeah, nice. Dude, they fucking had us as well. But actually, our center capitulating has actually kind of worked. Alright, yeah, move the infantry away. Yeah, they like fucked up the advance. And got like fucked in the forest here. Oh my god, I thought we lost. Holy shit, that was a good one. Yeah. Let's speed things up. Oh mine god. That was a good one. And a nice little battle as well. Okay, well we got to make this battle quite quick and decisive because we could make a potential peace with the solution. Alright, let's unpause and let's give out some orders to advance. Let's go. And we'll move my skirmishers up as best we can. Make sure they're on skirmish mode, and we'll keep the general and the other cavalry here out of range. Alright, let's charge on in. The axemen, they should be able to inflict massive losses upon the brave men of Media here. And we're going to be bringing more southern Mesopotamian territory under our control. Okay, I might just get one unit here to engage that, because we might be able to sneak a fair few around here if we're careful. You guys keep going this way. So you engage this, while you guys try to make your way around. Nice little skirmisher shot as the axemen charge on in against these eastern spearmen. We look like we have far superior equipment. And once the fighting breaks out, we're really going to see who's got the mustard for this one. Okay, let's maybe split up my skirmishes slightly. So it's like advance you here. You guys can probably be over here. Alright, that little flanking maneuver has actually worked quite well. So a couple of pockets of fighting have now broken out with our axemen. Oh my god, that guy just got suplexed. We've got some WWE action over here. Alright, their cavalry's getting stuck into me here. We have to be a little bit careful of that. Swing over there to help. Yeah, it's a shame that, just unfortunately, the Persian hoplites aren't hitting any cavalry. They're actually going straight into pikes, which is not what we want whatsoever. Unfortunately, these hoplites are probably being caught and are probably going to be destroyed because of it. Let's move you up here. Nice, we're having a lot more luck on this northern side. Our skirmishers have advanced. Let's move my cavalry and general unit in. If I was to do some hammer and anvil strikes, we might try and do it. Let's drop an inspire, or what have we got at our disposal here? And then we'll try and rotate our units around. Now we are significantly outnumbered, however we do have quality over quantity compared to them. Right, let's swing you around.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Oh, we're going to win here, which is going to be good. Nice. That's fantastic. We're going to be able to free up multiple units. Focus on them and crush them. Alright, cavalry still swinging around. Yeah, crikey, this is not good. Oh, these Persian hoplites are actually fucked. They're pinned down by Eastern spearmen, and now the AI has quite astutely moved pikemen in behind. We're actually going to lose these two Persian pikes completely, matter of fact. Alright, they've been freed up, so you can swing down this way to help. You're focusing on this. I did send my cavalry in here to try and hit these pikes from behind. Maybe we continue to cycle charge into that. You come back around this way. These guys have nearly been completely crushed. You're swinging this way, nice. Right, let's get multiple of these skirmishers over here. Okay, unfortunately all that remains on this side is the cavalry. We've actually given chase over here, and we're starting to initiate the countdown of one of their capture points, which is interesting. These Eastern spearmen are still holding down. We've been hammer and anvil struck there. Have they deployed their pikemen down properly? No, not really. Okay, we haven't been able to successfully rotate these guys around, unfortunately. Alright, we've got a lot of units being tied down here, so we'll try and swing them down here now. They've been freed up. Alright, skirmishers are coming at me, which is fine. We should be able to make quick work with our general unit. An additional cavalry unit as well. Alright. We've redirected some of the troops here. Hopefully they can come and help. Perfect, they're being crushed, and we've won here as well, so let's advance. Although it looked like we were probably going to make most of the progress on this side. It's actually changed a bit. They've now capitulated. Perfect. Okay, let's swing my cavalry back and around into the settlement. There's some skirmishers here hitting us with impunity. Continue to focus against them. You go for this. You go for that. We are advancing, but we are struggling slightly. Still about 80% in our favour. But we just have to be a little bit careful with this encroachment. Okay, we've won here well. Make sure to go to the town square. Get my skirmishers to hit this pike unit from the back. All of them. Alright, my cavalry is starting to wrap around. They've got their general unit here, which is something we should really keep an eye on. Hang on. Nearly sacrificed one axe unit while the rest swing around. My skirmishers are still targeting them there. Okay. We're starting to push in now effectively. Yeah. Once you get axemen in your Armenian army build for Rome 2, they massively change the tide of battles. Like those eastern spearmen are pretty trash. Alright, let's continue to fire into them. Alright, let's push around the back of this. Well, maybe you send... Not everyone, just 2 of them will be more than fine. Winning here. They're dropping like flies now. I can't imagine what unit is still holding. Nice. Let's end the battle there. Close one in the end. No, they're actually going to stand and fight. Alright, let's fight this one and have our first battle against Tylus. Once this is... And they already have the order for fire at will, so they should be firing. Oh, here they go. Alright, let's give out some attack orders. Alright, cavalry go around here. Alright, frontline fighting is broken on out. Perfect. And let's move you up here. I'm actually going to switch to a flammable shot. I don't tend to do that, because you quite sometimes need the increased hit points on units, but because these guys are so lightly armored, we've been attacked here by some mercenary citizen cav, we should attack that. We're going to be able to inflict more morale damage with some flammable shots. So archers, ignite your arrows. Loose. Alright. Nice, they've capitulated. Continue to swing around. Got an Oathsworn unit hitting me here. So send a cavalry unit to come down and help, because that's going to be their most dangerous unit. And already, in combination with a charge from morale shock, and we're like, that already put their morale down, that charge. Comboing that with flammable ammunition, look at this. They are severely losing the will to fight. Perfect. Come down in here, help please. Charge after them. Alright. Here comes a Persian cavalry charge on these Oathsworn. Should be quite solid and impactful. And it sure as shit is. Alright, get my cavalry to start running down them. Okay. We're slowly swinging around here. But the rapid advance actually slowed down a bit. Alright. I'm going to get all my archers to quickly turn off that flammable ammunition, switch to a standard shot, hit those Oathsworn. Unfortunately, that axe unit capitulated. And let's continue to hit them there. Alright, you go this way. Alright, they're doing fine. Because that's the unit we're really going to struggle against. But look how much damage our archers are inflicting against them. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, they're about to fully be dissolved there, their general unit. And the engagement which made up the front line attack has now ended. And that's it. So we're going to have to go back in and just assault it. I was trying to get it to work that we weren't attacking Rhodes itself, but it was going to be like a land battle, say over here, with everyone in it, and we can land our amphibious units in. Alright, let's fight this one and take Rhodes, I suppose. Alright. Still trying to move most of the navy in. We actually have a ballista unit, which is kind of interesting. Alright, still trying to move everyone here. Yeah, so maybe just try and get everyone there to disembark. Let's move this ballista unit over here. Can I get a lot of these guys to start? Not everyone can row hard, but some can, so we'll do it. Yeah, because that will just increase the ship speed. The quicker they can get in, the better. Oh fuck, they're moving. I was looking down at this bloody bar here. They're actually coming out. As I thought they potentially might. Because they know that the longer they wait, the more this battle is going to be within our favour. I'll try and make to the beachhead here then. Yeah, they're going to send up the mob first by the look of it. As slowly but surely, the Armenian navy is going to come in and help. Alright, we've got a ballista unit. Let's try and cause some carnage and go over here. So these guys are going to get absolutely decimated by slingers. Flanking is the problem. Oh, I should have maybe pushed further up and locked here. Would have been a better place to hold. But here come our reinforcements, ever so slowly. Alright, we're just currently trading skirmisher fire at the moment. I'll try and move my... There's an arrow tower there we have to be a little bit careful of, but I think overall we're fine. If we can somehow move the ballista unit there, we'll be good. Oh, here they go. So, they're actually charging out up against me, which is kind of what I wanted anyway. Just need to hold long enough for our reinforcements to come on in. Because I don't think man to man we're probably going to win. Alright. Skirmishers have come off firstly by the look of it. Okay. So you've got a flammable round on now. Yeah, so can you hit into this, potentially? So I'll just go for a bit of a... a bit of a wild shot. Like, is that going to clip anything? Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe. Alright. That actually didn't do too bad. How about we try this secondary round now? Overshot it slightly. Alright, let's get these reinforcements in. And let's get these guys in as well. Okay, we're still managing to hold quite well. Let's drop an Inspire on the front line. Alright, let's get our skirmishers to start hitting into theirs. Which I hope is what we're targeting. Alright, so let's get some of these Marines in over here. We'll start get them to skirmish. Continue to fire into like this cluster, prioritizing the enemy general. Alright, let's get some more fellas in. So the reinforcements have arrived. Mostly skirmishers. Some more well equipped than others. Let's get my cavalry over here to help. Just gotta be a little bit careful of the general potentially capitulating. Alright, these skirmishers are here now. And like I said, the longer this battle goes on, the more it's going to turn into our favor. As our reinforcements will be disembarking. Yeah, you go over there and help them. We actually crushed those slingers there, but Rhodian slingers are arguably the best, bar Cretan in the game. Slingers wise. Right. Let's take this hill with the naval reinforcements. That citizen cav is actually trying to run away. Oh, this is what I was worried about. The skirmish is potentially moving. Hang on. Alright, about to crush the citizen cav. Actually, you know what? Instead of like coming back and cycle charging, get this citizen cav to try and snipe the town square. It might actually work, you never know. Alright. We'll make a push here in a moment, but these eastern spearmen are holding off against these hoplites. Once we get everyone in, let everyone have a little bit of a breather. You go for them actually, quickly reform. You might be able to do a little bit of damage. Alright. Let's attack. You swing around this way. While you try and swing around as well. Alright, continue to skirmish like this. And we'll get essentially everyone here to advance. They could have a unit back in here, but you never know. I'm hoping not. Alright, charge and try and surround them. Alright, we're about to try and cap the town square. This ballista unit, I'm just actually going to tell you to stop firing. And maybe just come on over and disembark. Alright, they're pushing in well into here. Additional skirmishers. Swing this way. Yeah, the first army is really depleted. Maybe just send 2 units up here. We don't seem to be able to cap it with the cavalry. Some total wars it works, sometimes it doesn't. We're completely surrounding this hoplite unit. But even being surrounded by 4 sides, they're still not being crushed. It's not getting hit with a mortal blow. No, now it is. Let's give out some more attack orders. Yes, this is perfect. All these naval units that have come on in can just skirmish easily. We're going to win here today. It's just only a matter of time. Nice. Victory. And now we've claimed roads to span the Caucasus, Mesopotamia, Asia Minor, Istanbul, and now Macedonia. Yeah, because we could have a war against Parthia in the east. We could go to war with Nabatea. We could betray the Seleucids that are still somehow alive. Egypt, they've had some pretty decent wars against the Kingdom of Kush. They might be quite weakened. But Syracuse did quite well, taking North Africa. Rome is still struggling against the Etruscans for whatever reason. I'm blown away that Cyrenaica actually has Lilybaeum. And it looks like the Vivisci have actually taken most of Iberia. Which I think... Yeah, there's like a barbarian tribe. Celtic barbarian, not Celt-Iberian. Which is interesting, but Dude, we had some crazy characters. Unfortunately, we lost our first king. It went to his 2 brothers who died. But Sammy's is now the Emperor of the Armenian Empire. And we basically can launch any operation militarily where we want. Because even like diplomatically, look at this. Athens, we've got like this is what we really control in our sphere of influence. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Got to wrap things up here today.